Hey guys, it's M4J here, and welcome back to City Skylines, and welcome to North Reef City, otherwise known as just North Reef. This is my brand new city. Some people might have been expecting another new Gardcity, some people might have been expecting a new bar city. Believe me, I did consider it. However, I was playing Factorio not so long ago, and I was building train depots, as I do so well. And I had this idea, because it's right next to a lake. I built this big train depot. Absolutely huge. I should show it off one day. It's amazing. And it was right next to a lake, so I imagined it was the sea, and I just called it North Reef as a name. I'm trying to go with, like, non-OpenTTD related names for things these days, just because, why not? But yeah, I like the name North Reef Depot, so when it came time to plan a new city in Skylines, I decided to call it North Reef. Now, I've already got the first 2 episodes recorded, the footage at least. I think it's safe to say that I'm addicted to this game again. It's taking up a lot of my time at the moment. So the video you're watching now, the footage here, it was over 2.5 hours long. I've obviously shortened it down considerably. There's a lot of sort of faffing around here at the start as I'm trying to like make up as I go along how this city is going to look. We've got this really nice sort of river/lake that I wanted to use as kind of a focal point for this part of the city. You'll see what this part of the city is called a little bit later on. I will point out, this isn't like Guard Square, where it's the city centre. Right now, no plans to make this the city centre. If anything, this is just part of the suburbs, really. Or at least where the suburbs start to turn into part of the main city. I was going somewhere with this and I completely forgot what it was. But yeah, this isn't the city centre, and that explains why the buildings aren't particularly tall. Also explains why the infrastructure, the road infrastructure, probably isn't that fitting for a city centre. I'm going to be experimenting a lot with different types of road layout, different types of junction, different mods as well. To give you a brief idea of the mod list that I've got right now, I've got things like node controller, traffic manager, what else have I got? Node controller, traffic manager. I've got real time, so things happen in real time. I've got it on the slowest possible setting. That roundabout's way too big. You'll see me change that. Oh god, what else have I got? Find it, things like that. Precision engineering, find road tool. You name it, pretty much, I've got it. And basically, the reason New Gardcity ended was because the game wouldn't load anymore. So City Skylines obviously loaded, otherwise I wouldn't be here now. But the save wouldn't load anymore, which is a bit of a problem when you're trying to make videos, believe me. Why that is, I don't know. It could be the vast amount of mods. It could be there's several updates that took place, some of which might have just broken the save. It happens. It does happen. I'm going to try and keep several backups of this. Every time I add a new mod, for example, or a new set of assets, I'm going to create a backup. And if for whatever reason the save stops loading one day, I'm hopefully be able to reverse it and find a way to make it work, basically. We will see. But yeah, because of that, I really wanted to continue with that project. The new Docklands project that I was working on in that series, I was really, really into that. I thought I was doing some good stuff there. I will be carrying a lot of that over to North Reef, and because it's called North Reef, there will obviously be a some area near a big body of water. We've got that here, as I said, but I think we can do more. I think there's an opportunity for more, and a huge dockyard is incoming. Also, the airport's DLC is due on the 25th of January, I think. And I'll be adding that. I don't know what that's going to do to the mods. Obviously, there will be some waiting required whilst the mods are updated. And that's why this series is not going to be weekly. This series is going to be bi-weekly. Bi-weekly? Do I mean that? Every other week is what I'm trying to say. I think that's bi-weekly. If not, then that probably means twice a week. But yeah, it's going to be every other week. It's going to be staggered with Railroads Online. So one week it will be Railroads Online, the next week it will be City Skylines, and you obviously get the idea. The reason I'm doing that is partially so that I don't feel under pressure to get the creative juices flowing. And also just so that, as I said, if there's any updates or anything, or the game starts misbehaving, I've got longer to fix it rather than having to sort of cram it all in and try and do it within a week. I think that's the best way of doing it, to be honest. But yeah, I'm interested in hearing what you guys think about that as well, of course. And then, yeah, ideas for this city then. So, as you can see here, I literally made this up as I went along, by the way. So there's a lot of things that I do here, half of which I'm not particularly pleased with, and I think I will undo in the future. There's some things you'll see me build in this episode and next episode, in fact, that are purely temporary right now. They will be replaced. I'm going to try avoiding what I did with New Gardcity, which was a lot of rebuilding. And I kind of just want to... I mean, I will tweak things every now and then and try to make them a little bit better. But overall, once I've built it, it's pretty much going to be... You know, that's it. That's how it's done. Saying that, there are already like 4 or 5 things that I would change, given the opportunity. And trust me, I will be changing them. And then there's a bit that I built... A bit that I build next episode that... When I was building it, I was thinking, oh, this is the worst thing I've ever done. But now I've had a chance to think about it off camera. I'm actually really, really happy with how it's turned out. And I've got some ideas on what to do with it. So I think overall we should be okay. Also, this little highway connection here, don't worry about this. This is exactly temporary. I literally just built this so that trucks and buses and things and road vehicles could get in and out of the city. There's no other reason for this to exist. It does get removed next episode, so fear not about that. I really love, by the way, so the mods in this game are incredible. We know that, there's no secret there. But I really, really love Traffic Manager combined with Node Controller. Node Controller is probably the best mod in the game right now in terms of how you fix junctions and things like that. Traffic Manager is good too, don't get me wrong. But the fact that you can do so much with this. I messed up one of the lines there, by the way. That's why that grass pit doesn't look very good. I kept asking myself, why is it like that? Why is it like that? But then, yeah, I forgot to put the little U-shaped line in, and that's why. But yeah, it's fine. As I said, it's temporary. It gets removed soon, so it's no biggie. Yeah, no controller. Really, really good mod. Really, really happy with the mod. You'll see this again next episode. I actually built a diverging diamond interchange next episode, which is something I never thought I'd hear myself say, but I did it. I'd like to think I did it quite well. It's a little bit unorthodox, and actually the part of the city where that's built is closer to the city centre than where we are now, I reckon. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I've got a suspicion that that is the case. We will see, though. One thing I'm not keen on is move it here. So you hit the slope there, and it's supposed to make a level slope. When you're building the road, by the way, the Fine Road tool supposedly makes a relatively even slope. It doesn't. And then move it is supposed to create a relatively even slope. It doesn't. Maybe it's because I haven't got the slope thing ticked on Node Controller, and maybe that's what's causing it, but I'm a little bit disappointed about that, actually, because it would be nice... Oops, just dropped my phone. It would be nice if these roads looked a little bit nicer. Now, some of them I've managed to fix manually. Some of them you'll see... I think there's one this episode where it just looks really, really derpy, and I'm not a huge fan of it. But there's only so much this game lets you do. You do hit your ceiling after a while, and I guess that's fine. It's a little bit irritating, but it's not the end of the world. You know, there are worse things happening in the world, let's be honest. But I just wish it wouldn't do that, to be honest. I just wish it would not do that at all. Right, so yeah, what am I building here then? So this is, it's going to be a dense commercial area, this section here. The opposite side is also going to be a little bit commercial, but some residential. As you could probably work out already, there's going to be a park built in the middle of that square roundabout. And do you know what? When I was planning this part of the city, briefly in my head in the 10 minutes before I started recording, I did have a thought of, don't just build a square road again. Like, put some curves and stuff in, make it a little bit more interesting. What did I do? I built a square road again. That's fixable, believe it or not. I could probably go and add some wavy roads in. So take out the straight ones and just add some wavy roads in. Keep the interchanges, junctions, in the same place, but just make the roads a little bit curvier. Bit like what I'm doing with this road here. Just making it a little bit more interesting. And you'll see here as well, I don't just make this into a T-junction at the end here. I try and make it a little bit more interesting. So we've got this triangular shape here that you see me build. And then I do go in and tweak some things around. There's me using Move It, and not to huge success, but managed to fix it there. And then, yeah, Node Controller again is my friend. And add this section back in. Road Anarchy is also a good one. I think I've got Prop and Tree Anarchy as well. So what I was trying to say with New Gardcity earlier, I had like 2,700 items that I was subscribed to on the Steam Workshop. I unsubscribed from all of those. It took a very long time. I would have actually recorded like the first 3 or 4 episodes of this series were it not for that. But yeah, I unsubscribed from everything that I had in the Steam Workshop. So there might be some things that I'm missing still. If you think there's something I'm missing, please do let me know in the comments below. That would be really, really helpful. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I unsubscribed from everything and then went back and looked at some mods and assets that I knew I wanted to use, and now I've got 2,500 assets. So I don't think I actually improved much. In all honesty, I kind of did, I suppose, but it's not a huge improvement, let's be honest. But it's something still, so there's that. But yeah, I always keep forgetting my train of thought while I'm in this. So the mods and assets that I got basically the bare essentials. So there's a few buses, trains, trams, and trolley buses, I believe, that I downloaded. And then there are some other. I haven't got many buildings. I've got UK-inspired housing, commercial, and industrial, all of which you'll see placed down in the next couple of episodes. The buses and stuff, they are coming. I'm just kind of working on right now getting these areas built. What this might sound like something someone else would say, not me. I'm actually not focused on transport right now. Right now, I'm mainly focused on building a functional city that I will then come back and turn into a transport haven. I think that's the best way of saying it. So, you know, I've got these buses, I've got these trains, I've got these trams. There's a series of assets on the Steam Workshop. I think it's called Ride Transport, which I thought it was an Isle of Wight theme map when I first saw it. It's RYDE. It's not. I think it's a fictional transport company that someone's made within the City Skylines universe. Their vehicles are gorgeous, so I downloaded all of them that I thought were appropriate. Right-hand drive, obviously. Left-hand traffic, because this is a UK-inspired city still. I was tempted to make it left-hand drive, right-hand traffic, but I went with this still because it's what I know best. And there are parts of this map that you'll see me build that are inspired by real-life places that I've been to. I can't say that for all of them necessarily, but some of them are just things that I've always wanted to build because I think they're cool. Some of them are things that I forgot to put the U-shaped line there as well. That's annoying. I think I realised that here. Yeah, there you go. And then I fix it. Good stuff. Yeah, some are inspired by real life places, where I've lived in the past, where I live now. Some are just things that I thought were cool. Some were inspired by things I've seen in pictures and stuff like that. These junctions, for example, I don't think there are any road junctions, at least where I've lived in the past, that have like road grass medians in the middle of the road. I don't think there's any. I might be wrong. I'm sure I'm wrong. But yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head. And because of that, this is inspired by a series of videos that I've seen on YouTube recently. I've been watching a lot of Skylines, like junction designs and stuff like that. And I think they're really cool. Some of the stuff you can do... Again, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to get back to this. I always wanted to get back to Skylines anyway, but one of the main reasons is just some of the freaking cool stuff you can build in this game now. It's incredible. And I'm really looking forward to the airport DLC. Apparently you can make your own airline in the game. So, you know, M4J Airways, that's taken directly from OpenTTD. There will still be some things, by the way, that come over from OpenTTD. I just don't want, you know, this isn't Gardcity, for example, or Gardcity. This is its own thing. It's separate. Some districts of the city, some regions, some areas of the city might be named after Gardcity areas. For example, like Lafayette might still come back, Victoria, things like that. So I'm not ruling that out completely, but I am saying right now that don't be expecting them, because you probably won't see them. That's what I'm trying to say. And you know, I'm okay with that. Hopefully you guys are okay with that. I'm really loving these junctions, by the way. I'm kind of getting lost just seeing these junctions again. I'm still learning the controls for lane connector and things like that. I'm sure you used to be able to move lines. I know you can move points along certain axes, but I'm sure you used to be able to move lines as well, and I'm not finding the option for that. So some of these chevron areas or these hatched areas I would move and have them replaced with something else. Like I would like to use grass but offset it enough, which I know you can use the offset tool, but I think you can offset from line and you can offset from median, but those aren't necessarily the same place all the time, and it can get a little bit confusing. So, oh yeah, I also put these lines in the wrong place. I wish the lines were organized in the order in which you built them, rather than whatever this is, because it can get a little frustrating trying to remember what's what. And you see I built this in the wrong place. I don't actually know what the order is when you build these lines. Do they have, is it coordinates maybe? Because it's certainly not in the order you built them. And then you have to like trawl back through and try and find the one you're looking for. And it can get a little frustrating, shall we say, trying to find the right one. But yeah, we've got this junction set up now. I have tested it. It does work, which is awesome. It's not very busy right now because it's kind of out of the way from everything else. But I do think overall it will get quite a lot of usage, which is why I built it like this, because it's effectively where one of the main roads ends and joins this road that runs alongside the waterway here. Whether it's going to be used a lot by ferries and stuff, I don't really know right now. But I just liked the idea of I want every junction to be a quirky junction. And as I said, I've got the diverging diamond intersection. Is it intersection? It's DDI, isn't it? So I think it's intersection or interchange. Might be interchange. I can't remember. It's cool though, whatever it's called. And I used to hate them. I used to see people build them and I think, what's the point of that? Like, the idea of a DDI is it's supposed to stop conflicting movements in traffic. And yet the first thing you do is you swap left to right and right to left. So that immediately you've got conflicting movements in traffic. But I kind of see its merit now. I think it does look cool. And the one I've built, especially the diverging diamond that I've built, Node Controller is my friend. It's helped me out a lot with that. It makes it look very pretty. I'm doing traffic lights here as well, which I think is part of Traffic Manager, isn't it? I love. It's basically like 12 mods in one. Traffic Manager, the things you can do, the junctions with priority signs and stuff like that, the traffic lights, time traffic lights, the lane connectors, the lane arrows, which sometimes are better than lane connector, but I didn't find that out until after I recorded this. Speed limit control. There's just so much you can do with this mod, and it's absolutely incredible, and I love it to pieces, and it's just brilliant. It's amazing. Right, into zoning then. So as I said, we've got dense commercial on this side. It's kind of going to be a leisure area, this. Kind of think like Soho, but not with the reputation. I think that's probably the best way of saying it. Oh yeah, that's where Move It did not do anything to help me there. I think the best way of actually smoothing out these roads is to use Node Controller and just tick on slope rather than flat, which is the default. I kind of wish slope was the default, but I guess it's not easy to do it that way, I suppose. I thought this land was flat until I built these roads, and then I realized that I kind of went outside the flat area there where it goes up the hill towards the freeway. It kind of messed things up a little bit. But yeah, immediately after the dense commercial here, we're going to have some dense residential. And we're actually talking about this on Discord, things we would change for a sequel. And mixed zoning would be awesome. So having, you know, like a shop on the ground floor, or maybe the first 2 floors, and then something residential above. That exists, you know. Gardcity, the town that I was born in, that's basically the town centre. You've got department stores and you know, fish and chip shops and things like that at street level. And then above it, you've got blocks of flats. And you could probably do it with mods. You could build, the flats with the entrance on one side and then the shop with the entrance on the other, leading out onto the road. And do it that way and sort of intersect the buildings. Use something like Rico and Anarchy to make them go into each other. You could do it like that, but I would rather it was an option from the get-go. And obviously currently it isn't an option from the get-go, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. So this here then, this is me trying to build busways, and this is part of the ride transport that I was talking about. It's actually a bus rapid transit busway, I guess is probably the best way of calling it. That one didn't work. I think I used the wrong type of road for the junction connections. I think there was a better type of road that I could have used instead. I was just trying to build like a little bus station here. And actually what you're seeing here is going to end up being temporary, because already I've thought of like 6 or 7 ways to improve it. So you don't get too attached again, basically, because it's going to disappear soon. And yeah, some of these junctions, they're not the prettiest. These little... So node controller, sorry, is good. But it does... I haven't yet found a way to remove a node. I think that's what I was trying to say there. So, move it, comes in and is a little bit helpful and stuff like that. But again, there are things still that I would change about some of these mods. They're great. I love them. Don't get me wrong. But there are still things I would change. That little slope down at the end there is a little annoying. I guess I could get around that by using the slope option again. Also, the fact that these bus lanes don't have building squares. I don't know what the technical term is, but you can't add buildings to them, which is annoying. So I had to build this like little offshoot road here, like so. And then we build the bus stop attached to that. It's an in-city bus. It's temporary. It's just so that people can get in and out of the city. Basically, it's nothing permanent. It's just right now so that I'm basically just testing traffic and stuff. So if cars get too busy, then obviously I'll promote public transport. In fact, this area of the city, I might as well tell you what it's called now. So the park itself right now I think is called Coleridge Park, but it will change in the future. This area of the city is Reef Square, which is not, as I said, the center of the city. The center of the city will be elsewhere. But I just thought, as a starting point, it's a pretty good place to go. It's not quite the suburbs, but it's also not like the city center. So it's a nice little hybrid that we've got here. But yeah, this is Reef Square. And one thing I've added to Reef Square, and I will add it to other areas. This is inspired by Perth in Western Australia, by the way. They have free bus transport in the city centre. They've got something called the CAT, which is the Central Area Transit, I think it stands for. And I think they've got 4 lines, but there's 3 main ones. There's the blue, the red, and the green. And then there's the yellow as well, which runs... I'm going back like 10 years, by the way, to when I was last in Australia, so it might have changed a bit since then. But that one runs a bit more sporadic, or it's got a bit more of a varied route. I can't remember exactly how it works. But the buses are free in the middle of the city. And I like that. So city centre transport will be free. Outside of the city, or if you're heading between the city and the suburbs, for example, that will cost. And I think that's the best way of doing it. If you want to get around the city, it promotes getting people out of their cars, basically. It's actually something... I mean, I know London has the fare caps and stuff like that, but it's something I think London should look more into, is free city centre travel. People might abuse it, I suppose, but, people abuse everything to do with fare travelling and stuff. There's fare dodgers everywhere and God knows what, so... it's an idea. Let's put it that way. It's an idea. Maybe on certain special days have free travel. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that area. I love that little ellipsis shape that I've built there. That's sort of a focal point of the area here. You can imagine that's like a nice residential area. I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head. A bit like those square garden areas that you get in London. I'm trying to think where... It's fictional, but I'm trying to think where Mary Poppins goes. Something Gardens. It's Cherry Tree Lane, isn't it? But I can't remember what the area is called. But something like that, basically. And also in the middle of the roundabout will become a city park. You'll see that a little bit. I think it happens this episode. A little bit later on, I build a main entrance. Then I build a secondary entrance a little bit further over. And then I also So the entrance is on the outside of the roundabout, and then there's a bridge that takes you up and over and into the main park itself. And again, I'm trying to think here. I feel like I'm missing something again. I probably am. Because I built this a couple of days ago. I should point that out. And now I'm recording the voiceover for it. And I recorded the second episode already, like I said. So I'm thinking more about that right now. And I keep going to say things that I did in that episode, but I don't want to make any spoilers. So there's no point watching it if you already know what's going to happen. It says Reef Square being named. The park itself, I might call it like Reef Park or something like that. Something really boring, I know. And it is a city park right now. It's not an amusement park or a zoo or anything like that. I do want to build a zoo. I want to build a better amusement park as well. Because the one I built in, I dug out that huge area, didn't I, in the last city to create the island. I think it was Varsity Island. I want to do Varsity Island again, by the way. You might have seen me building an island in the middle of the lake. It was mainly to get rid of the soil. But I am very, very tempted to use that as a basis, I suppose, for either a stadium or a varsity area. We will see about that. But I thought it was a neat idea. Even if it's just something to look at. It could become a nature reserve, who knows. But I want to work more with parks. I didn't really do a good job with parks in the last city. I didn't really do a good job with most things, to be honest, in the last city. I feel like I could do better. So I am going to go back and, work on things that I messed up last time. Obviously, the new airport's going to help building it modularly. I would like a docks. They could have done airports and docks as a single DLC. Maybe they are working on docks. Maybe they've just decided it's not worth doing. But I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. A little bit more control over where your exports go as well. Because right now they just get loaded in a truck and then they're gone. It would be nice if you could actually see, maybe have business relationships with nearby cities that you can see off in the distance. And you can actually see where your stuff's getting exported to. That would be pretty cool. If you had a boat, for example, you might just see a city way off in the distance. The draw distance barely renders it. But you could see a dockyard at this neighbouring city. And then you could see, your ship leave your dock, head over to there, and then unload. I think that would be pretty cool. And then maybe see it come back as well. I don't know. I'm literally spitballing ideas right now. So yeah, this is, as I said, Coleridge Park. It's a bit basic to start with. It does get more... I think it's 2-star at the time of me recording this. It does need a lot more work doing to it. One thing I need to get is the expanded landscape tool that allows you to use tree brushes and actually make a pass through this and get some more trees planted. Because right now it does look a bit barren. And then yeah, the main entrance is there. You go up and over the road. There's no crossings on the road, on the roundabout at all. I had made that mistake in the last city. I had to go and turn them off. There's also, right now, there's no plans to build trams here. I think if I do have a tram line come through here, it's going to be underground. A bit like when I used to play Cities of Motion 2, you might remember I had the rapid trams system. It's going to be a bit more like that. Rather than all street running. There will be some street running, but probably not in the city centre. I think in the city centre it's going to be more grade separated. Just for ease of everything, to be honest. There's the main part then fenced in. We've got the secondary entrance there. You'll see me build a road bridge. So I downloaded a mod called the Pedestrian Bridge Creator, I think it's called. And I tried using it here, but I think because it sensed this was a roundabout, it kind of... it doesn't look nice. Let's put it that way. It doesn't look nice. So I manually build a footbridge over so that pedestrians can enter the side gate as well. That's mainly for ones who've come from the bus station. And that, as I said, it's temporary, the bus station. There will be another bus station here in the future, but it'll be more integrated into everything that we've got here. And again, there'll be some kind of rapid bus transit system. Bus rapid transit system. It's BRT, isn't it? So bus rapid transit system. Just to get people moving around the city as quickly as possible. And there'll be metro here as well. And I'm sure there'll be loads of other things. One thing I'm going to try to avoid this time around as well is creating one single hub for everything. I want things to sort of more satellite hubs. A bit like Cities of Motion 2 again, actually. Funny enough. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this episode, guys. We're pretty much at the end. We're powering it, we're watering it, and it's all systems go. So, Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're excited about the series. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think needs improving from the get-go. That'd be really, really helpful. Let me know any mods that you recommend, any assets as well. That'd be really, really helpful as well. Besides all that, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Plenty more City Skylines content coming up in the future. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. It really means a lot to me. And until next time, I will see you soon.